These people are freaking evil. That is indeed the video for now. This is by Asmongold clips. We're gonna go in. Apparently, the grape inquiry thingy dropped, and people have been making fun of it. It's mostly white women. Let's. Who are we kidding? Also, please consider liking, subscribing. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And yeah, we're going in. We're going in.
County lines are phone lines, not border demarcations. You can't traffic people over them. The rape gang inquiry report is junk. All right, so this video has 4 million views.
The rape gang inquiry report is out.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try not to laugh because it feels mean.
Let's say whoever made this is wrong. At worst. All right. At worst, it's wrong or incomplete. Or the data is not good enough. Let's say that is the case. Laughing about it, especially when it's that kind of topic, is questionable at best and outright evil at worst. Also, why is he still wearing something rainbow? Stop it. Get some help.
What the fuck?
I haven't read the whole thing. It's 219 pages. It's only just come out a couple of hours ago. They also haven't done their research either. Because on page 11, for example, we find the following. In each of these areas, the same tactics were trafficked across county lines. County lines are phone lines, and you don't even have to do a lot of digging to find that out, right? Literally, all you have to do is Google what is a county line, and it will tell you that county lines are the way that urban drug dealers get their drugs out into more rural areas. They have phone lines that people can call. Those are county lines. So you cannot traffic somebody over a county line unless you're trafficking them over a phone line.
Well, they're talking about being trafficked from like one area to another area, right? That's obviously what's being discussed.
See, the problem, if that's the problem, right? If that's what you're hung up on, then we have a problem. Because it's probably, right, in this context, it's probably from one... It is probably from one area to another. It's from one state to another. From one county to another. This is nothing, right? If you're hung up on language and not the actual data, we have a problem. Because... here's a fun fact. Most people probably don't care whether this is written in a scientific English or not. I'm gonna say it the way it is. Most people probably won't care. They do care about, however, what's written in there. And everybody can understand what is meant. You just pick that out because you have no defense for it. And as far as I'm aware, this woman is actually working in that field, right? Of like social prevention and as a social worker, right? Outrageous, isn't it? Sounds like somebody has some some skeletons in the closet.
That's what's being said.
Which I guess is technically possible if you're also selling them on a phone line or via that phone. So if they haven't understood the basics of how the drug network works in this country, then they have absolutely no hope of understanding grooming gangs, because grooming gangs are criminal cartel enterprises. That is the grooming gang, right? It's a criminal gang. None of that, I'm going to assume from that line in the Rape Gang Inquiry Report, has made it into the Rape Gang Inquiry Report. Because if it had, they would know that county lines are phone lines and not county demarcation lines, and therefore you don't get trafficked across them.
I'm
going to leave this video here because I will start.
So that is the only criticism you have. They don't use language that you agree with. Right? They don't use that. They don't use that. That is it. Wow. So you did not talk about anything, any information, right? You read the whole thing, which is questionable because I don't believe you actually did. Most people would say they read all of the Google Docs that read full Google Docs right on Twitter. Don't actually read them. Anyway, I don't believe her first. Second, just because they didn't use the precise language doesn't mean that they don't have a point, right? And if that's all you have, then we have a problem. You did not consider what's in there, only that they didn't use the language that you wanted.
Banging my head against the desk. But I hope this gives you some idea of how little research these guys have done. They've also put a whole load of stuff in there about the Muslims and how awful the Muslims are in really, really vague terms. Everywhere there are Muslims, you get these problems. Well, there are 2 billion Muslims on the planet. I don't think it's literally everywhere. But anyway, that's a story for another.
Yes, and all of these countries have a problem. You can barely name any stable democracy that is a majority Muslim country. The only country that I can name that is somewhat really close or a democracy, that is stable is Indonesia. No other country really is stable. Turkey isn't stable. Afghanistan certainly not. Iran not. Pakistan not. What other country is still? Was it Myanmar? Also not 100% stable. Even Indonesia sometimes faces threats of being destabilized by radical Muslims. I'm sorry, but that doesn't work. Libya is another one. Nigeria is another one. You get the idea.
Day. See you later.
Well, yeah, you're right. It's because in the Muslim countries, they'd just be killed. That's the reason why. That's why they come to Britain to rape people. It's because if they did it in Pakistan.
Yeah, if they did it in Pakistan, they'd be obliterated. But then again, does it really matter? I mean, British Jew not going anywhere. Elon wants to be in jail. I guess he doesn't really care about grooming. He does care more probably than you do.
And they'd be given the death penalty. I don't even know. This is shit you're smugly and glibly.
Would they? Oh shoot! Would they? Would they actually? You know what they do to boys and women, girls in Afghanistan? They grape them. If you think like as a young boy in Afghanistan, you have it fine, life is good and chill. Yeah, wait so you can get ready to perform some weird acts in front of adults. And be dressed up as girls because they made women factually invisible in that country. Yeah, no. Trust me, guys. Boys, men. Your boys, your children, your sons are not safe from them either.
Debunking by nitpicking semantics, fucking evil freak. Exactly. People have no idea how bad the report is. To give you an idea of scale, during the rape of Nanking, Japanese soldiers were estimated to have raped 20 to 80,000 Chinese women. The report estimates at least 250,000 women were victimized by these Muslim rape gangs. When Fiona's mother called the police to report her daughter missing and mentioned a history of abuse by Asian men, the call handler told her, "You can't describe them as Asian men because that's racist. You should just be glad your is being taught into a different culture." On one occasion,
If abused by Asian men, the call handler told her, "You can't describe them as Asian men because that's racist. You should be glad your child is being taught a different Oh, she's being taught race. She's taught being abused. Wonderful.
a police officer returned Fiona to the house where the abuse was occurring, and they told the men to have fun with her. Even the UK Reddit covered this more than mainstream media. It's a hard read, unfathomable. I think you read this, you actually read what's being allowed to happen to avoid bad optics. I'm disgusted in this country. It'll be interesting watching people put more effort into debunking this video than actually solving the problem. Absolutely horrific. The perpetrators and their families who stood by them need deporting. Even Reddit, dude.
Even Reddit is flabbergasted, no wonder. If Reddit is flabbergasted, this is going to be interesting. I wonder what the numbers would be per country, right? I wonder how high the numbers would be per country. And I wonder how high the numbers would be if accounted for all countries, right? Would it also be 250k? Would it be high in some countries? I really wonder how this would look. Obviously, we know Poland, there's not going to be much going on. But it would be interesting to see for Germany, right? I'm a German, so I would like to know what I would want somebody to do the exact same thing. Because, right, they do it here too. right? We have at least two gang gang rapes a day. So I'm curious where this would go, right? If they did that here. Anyway, there's really not much to see. I recommend, right? I recommend reading this. You don't have to read it all one go. I don't even think most people can stomach reading this in one go. But yeah, read it and have your own opinion. That's all I gotta say. That's all I have to say. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. This woman is evil. This woman should be put on a list and carefully watched. That's all I'm gonna say.